what particularly stands out about them? Is it on offense or defense, or just in general?
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to play against Coach Valerio twice in the past at Fordham. You know, first and foremost, they're always fundamentally sound. You know, very physical. You know, both sides of the ball play very hard, and you know, their special teams unit, you know, create game-changing plays. So, you know, from an overall program philosophy, you know, I think, you know, they do a great job maximizing their talent. You know, they find a way to stay in ball games by playing great defense, being opportunistic on offense, and like I said, making game-changing plays on special teams. So that's kind of been their, you know, about their formula for success.
Obviously, other than winning, what are you looking for from your team in particular? Your first game with them, their first game of the season, and all these changes.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking to win. I mean, you know, we've got a great mix of, you know, new players via the portal, high school and junior college, and mixing them with, you know, all the returning players. So having those guys come out on the field for the first time as a team and, you know, play against an opponent, you know, we need to, you know, as we do every week, win the turnover battle, win the explosive play battle, be great on third down, and, you know, do an awesome job in the red zone and you know, win special teams. And, you know, the other thing is I want to see our response to adversity. You know, obviously we haven't won very many football games, you know, in the past few years, and have faced many challenging situations, and adversity will invariably rear its head during the course of the game. And I want our guys to fall back on our culture and respond to it the right way, have a plan, attack it the right way, and be prepared to overcome it.
What, and I know you're not going to give me any details on your offense and defense, but what do you like about each of those units right now?
I like the way they're preparing. You know, I think our coaches are doing a great job in the meeting room, providing them with the information. You know, kids are coming out on the field and, you know, playing with great effort. I think our execution, our precision needs to, you know, really improve the next few days for us to earn the right to take the field with confidence. But I want us to be well prepared. I want us to play, you know, every snap harder than our opponent and execute at a higher level for 60 minutes or as long as it takes. So I really like what they're doing in terms of their preparation. I like how hard we're playing, but we need to be a lot more precise in a game that has, you know, very small margin of error.
Who's your starting quarterback? Although I think I know.
You think you know?
I think I know.
We may play all four of them. We'll find out at 6 o'clock on Thursday.
And you're starting running back.
Yes, we will have a starting running back.
Yes, I figured as much. Strange question. Off the top of your head, how many new players, if you know, how many different players are there from last year over last year's roster? You know what I mean? How many new faces?
I think it's roughly 40. Sam Popper, our director of player personnel and recruiting, recorded. We were talking about it yesterday at Canal Park prior to the Rubber Ducks' first pitch, and I think it's 23 portals. I'm not good at math. And then the addition of high schools and JUCOs, I guess that would be 17. So right around there, in that ballpark.
Have you seen that kind of turnover before in your career?
No, I have not.
We've talked about culture a lot. In that regard, does that help or hinder you establishing your culture when you have that many new faces?
I don't think it either helps or hurts, because when we you know, got here in January with the returning players prior to any of the new guys getting here, we very clearly defined what our culture was going to be moving forward, and the guys were either going to get on board and get with it or get going and find somewhere else to play. So there really hasn't been much discussion. You know, the suggestion box hasn't been open. You know, there's one way things are going to be done around here, and that's the right way. So, you know, the returners who've stayed and haven't moved on, you know, they've assimilated and bought in, and the you know, quite frankly, the portal guys, you know, have all come from, you know, winning programs, so they're used to, you know, playing well and being held to a standard, and doing the things right on and off the field. So yeah, I don't think it helps or hurts because there hasn't been much discussion about whether they're going to buy it or not. They're going to do it, or this ain't the place for them.
The portal guys with that expectation of winning, how important is that aspect of what they bring to your team? The fact that there is a standard, you know what I mean?
I think because they understand what it takes to win, and most of them have done it at the highest level of football, and there are certain ingredients in a roadmap, and success and failure all leave clues. So these guys have all played at some of the blue blood programs and have gone to bowls and played in postseason games and won big rivalries. So when they're coming in here, the things we're asking them to do isn't going to be anything that's foreign or new to them. They should be in some way, shape, or form accustomed to implementing the things that are necessary to be successful. And a byproduct of that is them communicating it to a group of guys that really haven't had that opportunity the past few years. So certainly helps along those lines. And I think it was great to see the vote of our team since January, that it was three returners and two portal guys. So I think that was a great job by our team, recognizing the guys that possess a leadership ability to help us moving forward.
Yeah, I noticed when you announced your captains that there were a couple of portal guys there, and I was kind of surprised because you don't normally see newcomers get recognition like that. What was it about, I want to call him Jean-Jacques, but I know it's Jacques Louis, one of the great football names ever as far as I'm concerned. But what was it about somebody like him where they recognize that, he's bringing something to the table enough to name him a captain?
Yeah, and the vote was pretty, it was those guys, earned it, and it I think it was, since January, Curtis and Shockey, along with the other guys, have all done it, first off by example, because I think leadership isn't something that can be given; it's something that needs to be earned. So the first thing that they did was, earn the respect of their teammates through their accountability off the field, through their work ethic in the weight room, doing things on their own, and then certainly, segueing into spring ball and then, summer workouts. And I think the kids recognized, what they brought to the table, and along with, obviously Bubba and DJ and Corey. So like I said, that's a good mix, and I think it bodes well for team chemistry. But, the vote was the vote, so the guys that earned it are the guys that earned it.
Is there, and this may have happened already, going back to culture, is there a point is there, or will there be a point when it's flipped to where you said, yeah, everything is clicking, this is trending in the right direction? Has it happened, or do you know when it happened? What's the sign there?
I think it's an ongoing process. I think the journey towards achieving the culture and the place where you want your program to go. I don't know you ever necessarily reach it, but I think it happens in certain steps. The January to March, where phase one where it was all about our workouts and team meetings and things like that. Then into spring ball, then summer workouts and fall camp, and now to me the season it'll be, I think, defined by two things: our response to prosperity. How do we handle it when things are going well, and probably more importantly, our response to adversity when there's a bad play or a bad quarter, or we're down a couple touchdowns and need to get back in the game. I think that's really when culture rears its head, one way or the other.
What do you hope that the Akron community, University of Akron community, and the broader Akron community take from your team? What do you want them to get?
I want them to be fully prepared to come to the stadium on game day and see a team that's conducting itself the right way off of the field, with a group of guys who are serious about getting their degree. And when we step between the white lines, we're going to be incredibly prepared. We're going to play harder than our opponent, and that we're going to execute at a high level and give ourselves an opportunity to win football games. And I wish I could sit here, prior to game one and pull out a magic wand and wave it over the team and, say there's going to be an immediate and instant fix. But, I think we all know that that's probably a little bit outlandish of an assumption considering where we've been and, what we need to do. But I think it will be somewhat subjective, but it will be able to be seen, by the eye when you're at the game. And then, as we continue to grow and improve, it'll be able to, be apparent in the win-loss record as well.
You've been in a position as a head coach before, but I got to ask, are you nervous?
Always. I'm nervous right now. When you stop being nervous in this seat, or as a player, or as a coach, because what we do is so hard, and the outcome of the game is so important to so many people. First and foremost, the team. That when you don't have the jitters and you're not nervous, and the result of the game and the outcome doesn't mean that much to you, and it doesn't burn you up inside, and you're not getting more gray hair, or nervous about the outcome, then it's probably time to move on with your life's work. So I am absolutely nervous, and that doesn't mean scared. There's a difference between tense and intense, and we want our guys to be intense, but we don't want them to be tense.
One thing I've never asked you, specifically because I was waiting to the fall, what's been the feedback from the community so far about your arrival here?
Yeah, I think, from everyone I've spoken to, I think there's a general sense of excitement, because this is an area that prides itself in its football DNA, right? Whether it's the youth level, certainly Friday nights and Saturdays in high school, and then, a bunch of great college teams in this state that, everyone embraces a winner. And I think, hopefully, my track record as a head coach and a coordinator over 25 years, and the ability to be a part of 5 different conference championships at 5 different schools, and coach a bunch of guys who have gone on to the next level and have a ton of success, and be a part of the only conference championship in Akron history. I think people are really, people around here want to see Akron be successful, and hopefully, myself, my staff, and our team are going to, bring that to the table, and give the school, the community, and the area and the state something that can be proud of which it can be proud. Don't understand the preposition.
Thank you, sir.
You good, George? Go ahead, guys.
You mentioned you had a good fall camp.
Yeah.
What is different with your team right now compared to the beginning of August?
From the beginning of August, I think we are playing with consistent effort. I think there's a very high compete level, where on any given day, it's the offense's day or the defense's day. It really went back and forth between period, and we see special teams executing at a high level. But the biggest area of growth that I've seen really since spring ball until now is the understanding and execution of our schemes. So I think that's the biggest area of growth that we've made since fall camp started.
Coach, now that fall camp is over, what were some of the more competitive position battles, and how difficult was it to pare down the depth chart to your top 2 in each position?
It was very difficult because depth charts are written in pencil, not in pen. And when we got here, we explained to them that there was no. We exist in a meritocracy here. So whether you were a returner, or a portal guy, a senior, a freshman, a walk-on, a scholarship guy, none of that matters to us. We're in a results-oriented business. So the guys who came out and performed the best and do the right things off the field and they produce on the field are going to be given an opportunity to play. So there were some spots where guys are markedly better than the guy behind them, and they're going to have the opportunity to play. But there were some where it changed literally by period of who was in with the ones or who was in with the twos, and some of the threes pushing the twos. So I think all the positions were competitive because all the spots were open. Some guys have some positions have guys that have really risen above kind of the pack, and then you got other groups that guys are still fighting and clawing to get on the field.